Hey guys, my name's Kerry, the camera guy. Welcome to the 101. So, what exactly is this segment going to be? This segment is going to be all things pop culture, geeky, nerdy, whatever you want to call it. As stated at the beginning, this is going to be a 101 guide. So if you already know some of these things, shoot on past it. For people who watch, for example, The Big Bang Theory, or you just wanted to start picking up comic books and don't know where to start, or you started toy collecting, or that type of thing, started to play board games or Magic the Gathering, whatever it is, this is going to be the starting point. I will cover the basics of whatever the topic happens to be. So, what exactly is a geek? Well, I guess by definition, a geek is somebody who is interested in a particular hobby, a particular interest that goes beyond, I guess, a standard interest. You want to share your hobbies and interests with whomever. So I guess that's what would be defined, I guess, nowadays as a geek. What do you think, Junior? Something along those lines?
Okay.
Okay. So what will we be covering in this episode? Well, basically we're going to be covering, not particularly, this episode, but Geek 101, geek culture, comic books, games. That's basically what this show is going to be about. So, where's a good place to start? Well, first of all, let's start with the web. Some good places to start online if you want to get just your feet wet. One of my favorite is ain'titcoolnews.com. What that is it's guys just like the guys here at Comics Remixed who cover comic books, toys, games. They usually have a little more inside scoop than a lot of people. They've got ties to the industry. So if you want to know what's coming out or what new toys are coming out or new movies, their reviews, once again, they're usually ahead of the ball, with ahead of the game with everything. So they're usually pretty good. Another one is BoardGameGeek.com. If you're into board games, if you're into Magic the Gathering, the name pretty much says it all. It's an intro to any type of board game that you'd be interested in. Another place, where do you start? Where do you, for example, want to start buying comic books, or you want to shop for toys? Where are some of the best places to go? Once again, these are very basic. I know there's hundreds of websites out there that have places to search. These are real good starting points. A very good one, obviously, the go-tos, Amazon, eBay. If it exists, you will find it on Amazon or eBay. So just type in what you're looking for. You will find whatever toy, game, etc. Or at least it will give you a starting point. Also Google, obviously. Just type it in. You will find starting points to get started in whatever your interest is. Another one that you may not know of is called thinkgeek.com. What that is, it's real just cool products, from t-shirts to devices to lightsabers to pen holders. They've got all kinds of weird, unique things that are incorporated into geek culture. So it's actually a really fun site. Another one is Fab Online. That's another one, very unique, from furniture to t-shirts to toys to collectibles that aren't necessarily mainstream. So you go there, you may find something you didn't even know existed. It's a real fun site, something to keep an eye on. Your common brick and mortar stores. Comic book places, great place to start. Most people behind the counter will be more than happy to get you started. If you have any questions or browse the racks, find something that interests you, good place to start, whether it's, once again, toys, comics, games. A lot of comic shops nowadays carry a little bit of everything, so it's a good place to start and browse and get your feet wet. And once again, most people behind the counters or in the shops are usually very helpful if you have any questions to get you started. Usually a real good go-to spot. Another one of my favorites. Don't know if they're nationwide, but I know they're big in Illinois. Half Price Books. Everything. They have used records, used books, graphic novels, toys, video games. Anything geek culture can probably be found there too. Fantastic, and it's bargain hunting. The name says it all. Half Price Books. You never know what you're going to find there. You can wander in and find stuff you haven't seen in years, or find something you didn't know existed. It's a real fun, cool place to check out. Flea markets are another one. Can't go wrong with a flea market. It's total Americana. If you're going to get started, it's a good way to get started cheap. Once again, whether you want to collect comic books or you're shopping for toys, just flea markets rock. You never know what you can get there. Always a treasure, and it's just a good time. Good, cheap starting point. For publications, Geek magazine, I would say, is a pretty good one. They cover a little bit of everything, from actual science to comic books to video games to whatever else is out in the world of geek culture. They're usually pretty good. I stumble across things I didn't know about all the time. It's a real cool magazine. Another one would be Rue Morgue. More of the horror bend. That's their primary interest. But once again, it's a very good magazine. You'll always find a couple gems in there. Another one would be Famous Monsters of Filmland. They cover the spectrum. They'll cover sci-fi. They'll cover horror. They'll cover comic books. I think they may have done some stuff on Star Wars before. Whatever the spectrum would be, they're usually pretty good about that stuff. They each month focuses on something new and different. Once again, runs the spectrum. Good place to start. So once again, that's a real basic starting point. Once again, this is a 101, so if I've left something out, please feel free to get in contact with Comics Remixed or myself and say, hey, you know what, here's another interest, or here's another place to check it out. So other people viewing the section could check it out. If I missed it and you think it's worthwhile, it's a resource for other people who would like to get into the hobbies and the collections that we are already a part of, and also too, something that you may want to share. Let us know. Let me know. I'd be happy to bring it up if it's something we think is something that's accessible to a lot of people and there's a big interest for it. Let us know. We'll cover it. So once again, this is the 101. That was an intro to geeks, intro to pop culture, geekdom. So get your feet wet. And I'm Kerry from the 101. Stay geeky.